Afternoon world, it's Hippy Trev here. So it's a couple of days later and I'm getting back to the model. I actually was out yesterday having a ball on the bike. It's been a couple of weeks since I got on the bike, and I was out there yesterday and I had a really good time on the bike. So anyway, let's get back to the model. So things are going really good. I'm really enjoying this model build. The tub's all done. Now I've got to explain what's happening here with these tracks in a minute, but the bottom part of the tub's done. It went really well. Bit of the top deck's done. A few more things to go on that, but there's not many bits left in the kit. And I've almost finished the top turret there. I've just got a bit of cable to go around the back, but it unfortunately it snapped. I'll just show you quickly. I've got this really long piece of cable that's got to wrap around the back of the top turret, but it snapped in one of the spots. And not only that, to get it around the thing, I've got to manipulate it into place, like turn it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this strap on properly or complete, but I'll certainly give it a go. And as you can see, there's practically nothing left on those trees. So the top turret went really well, and got my little figurine painted up. Now I tried to give him blue eyes with these very fine pens, but as you can see, he looked like something out of a Halloween movie. So luckily I've got some good flesh paint here, so I'll repaint the face, and I probably won't bother trying to give him some nice blue or green eyes. So joining the track here. Now I said earlier at vid that that can't be much of a model if the track's already come complete. Well, there is a bit of a trick to joining these tracks, because they've got to be heat stuck together with heat. There's some pins there, and on the model it can't quite stretch. You can't hold it into place. So what I'm going to have to do, and secondly, you can't get this track in or out of the back here. You can't slide it over. So what I really need to do is I'm going to pull this wheel off for a start. What has to be done? There's some very small pins there. You've got to join it together like that, and then with a hot knife you've got to melt the pins over the top. So I'm going to have to do this off the model, and then what I'm going to have to do is basically insert the wheel with the track all joined, insert that into there somehow, and make it all work. I'm not really sure how that's going to work yet, but anyway, I've only got one go at this. So basically I'll try and add the video of me joining the track together and how that works and how I'm getting the track onto this part of the model. It should be very interesting. Sorry, it should be very interesting trying to get this part on the model. What I'm realising is I probably shouldn't have put this. They tell you when to put parts on. If you know further down the track what's going on, what I should have really done was like join the track. I should probably not have put this rear section of the tank together, because that way, without that, I could have just slipped that straight on there and then put this on later. I don't think I can. I don't really want. Oh, there we go. I'm going to peel that off the back. There we go. So now when I go to put my tracks on, I don't have any interference. So that, even though they tell you to put that on early in the model, if you're building this particular model kit, my advice is do not put that on until you've got your tracks on, but we'll show you that a bit later down the track. Pun intended. Now, what I do want to say is, Tom Garth, mate, that toolkit you sent me, if it wasn't, I'll talk about things arriving at just the perfect time. That toolkit that you sent me has arrived at just at the perfect time. And there's three things I use all the time since you've sent me that kit that have been a life-changing in model building. And the first one is these tweezers. Oh my God, how I got through all my other kits without a pair of tweezers like this. And a lot of my other kits, the smaller parts, did not make it to the model because I was using these standard tweezers. And you couldn't hold a part, and you pick it up and the part would just fly off and that's gone, never see that again. Or you couldn't pick a part up and hold it. These tweezers are an absolute game changer. If you're a model builder, do yourself a favour and get these sort of tweezers. I haven't looked back. I've got parts on this model that are so small you're not going to be able to pick it up on camera, but I'll try. All right, there's parts on this model like these little things here are so small, and even bits like that and that just fell off, I'll re-glue that on, and that, and a lot of these smaller parts here, these smaller hooks and stuff, if it wasn't for these tweezers, and of course the use of my magnifying glass here, there is no way I would have been able to get these pieces into position. It was just like these little parts around the side here, they are so small, I can only see them under the magnifying glass. Without these tweezers and my magnifying glass, all these little tiny pieces here, like they are absolutely, I'll use the word finite. Without these tweezers, I would never have ever got them parts. They would never have made it to the model. It would have been absolutely impossible. And even just gluing like the ammo box onto the machine gun here, even though you can't see that properly, this little machine gun, gluing the ammo box onto the machine gun, with my big fingers and blah, 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 that would have been destroyed. These tweezers are literally a game changer in model building. I can't say it enough. Secondly, Tom, the clippers, mate. I was using my Swiss Army knife to get all the parts off the trees. These are another game changer as far as getting the parts off the trees. They are absolutely fantastic. The sanding block here, I've used that on a lot of the parts where you got little bits of the trees still attached to the parts that the trimming knife was too rough, and I just went over with this sanding block. This is a great little sanding block. And thirdly, this beautiful little trim knife is absolutely fantastic. Those three items, I mean, the whole kit's really good, but for building this particular model, these three items are literally a model builder's game changer, literally. And more than anything else, these tweezers are the best I've ever had to use. I've still got 3 other sets of tweezers in the kit there that I haven't even pulled out yet. I've just been using these and they have been absolutely perfect. So Tom Garth, mate, as far as model building supplies, this has literally changed my model building. It really has changed it. So anyway, what I've got to do now is I've got to get this track joined up. I remember doing one of these years ago as a kid, but this is the third army tank I've built, and the other 2 tanks I had to put all the tracks together individually, same as the dozers I've built. Tracks had to be put together individually. This is a heat and joint situation. So anyway, we're going to head over to my sink because I'm going to need a hot knife off the stove, and we're going to try and join these together, and then I'm going to see about getting them onto the tub. So rightio, let's move over to the sink. Rightio, we're over here at the sink. I don't know what your vision's going to be like. Now firstly, I've just got to trim off this little bit here. There we go. Now I brought this board in to try and help me. So these are going to go on like, I'm going to get down here. These have got to go over these 4 little pins like so. I'm trying to get these over the pins, but they're not behaving. Right. What I might do is just give them a little bit of a round out. Can't go too far. I should be using my little trim knife for this. Alright, first let's see if we can get these pins in. I can get a couple of the pins on. And there's a couple that just won't go in. That one won't go in the hole. Right. Pretty much got my pins in, but not really happy with it, but alright. Now we come to the fun part. I've got to melt them. Light the stove. Get my knife, a little bit of heat into it. I can't imagine I need much heat to melt these. And I'm going to try and melt this first pin here. Done. Done. Those 2 pins aren't doing the best. Get a bit more heat here. That pin's done. Right, there we go. That's how you do it. One pin didn't quite go in the way it should have. And there you have it. That is the track joined up. Right, let's go do the second one. So, same deal. Take this little tag off. Before we do anything else, yeah, we'll go on. Right, we'll see if we can get the actually pins through the holes. Being like a rubbery plastic and very flexible, the pins don't want to go in the holes the way. They don't just pop straight in, let's put it that way. They're being a little bit difficult for me. I've got there, these ones are not going in the holes. You know, same thing, I'm going to get my trim knife, Tom Graft trim knife, and I'm just going to round out these holes just a little bit. Just give them a little bit of a twist in there. Hopefully that'll make the pins go through a little bit easier. Back on the board. Right, let's see if we can get these in the holes now. Nope. Not having a lot of luck getting these in the holes. Not at all. These are not going in. Oh, I think I got them. Oh yeah. Right, get that under, get the board under there. These, same thing, these are not going through the holes properly, but I think I've got enough there on a couple that it will work. And of course I won't know until I go and stretch the tracks to try and get them on the actual tank over the over all the road wheels. A little bit more heat on my knife here. Don't think I need much. Let's melt that one. That one's melted. Just can't get them through the holes properly. I'm just going to try and melt them on anyway. Don't make a mess of it, boy. There we go. I think I've got them through. I'm going to let these cure before I even try and stretch them over the model. Not very happy with this joint at all. I'm going to put a bit more heat onto those. I'll hide this part of the track underneath the turret. I'm sorry, underneath the top body. Rightio, so that's joined. That's it. Not. No, that is terrible. That pin hasn't worked. That pin hasn't worked there at all. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to melt it on this side. I don't think there's enough heat left in that knife to do it. Nope. All right, I'm actually going to melt it on this side, to part of the track where it is lifting. Didn't go through the hole. I'm just going to try and melt it to the track there. Just. This is not how you're supposed to do it at all. And I'm also going to do it again there as well. This track did not join together very well at all. So I'm just going to melt that join there. Rightio, let's melted that to that one. A little bit more heat. And there we go. That is not a very good join at all. I'm actually going to melt this side of it to the track as well, because I'm really not happy with that join. A bit more heat into the knife, and I'm just going to melt that to there if I can. There we go. Ugly, but that's going to be a much better join, hopefully. Right, where's this join? This one actually worked pretty good, but I'm actually going to do the same thing here. I'm going to reheat my knife and just do a melt here. Just to make a better join, hopefully a little bit more secure. And I'm going to do the same at the top. Get my board there. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to melt that there as well, just to make this a little bit more secure, hopefully. Because I've got to put a fair bit of stretch on this to get over all the road wheels. So a little bit of melting there. There we go. Let's hope that works. Yep, that feels much better. That feels much better. And that feels a lot better. So I'm just going to let them cool down. So, rightio worlds, hopefully that's how we join our tracks together, and hopefully they'll work. And now I've just got to manage, and now I've just got to slide them onto the bottom of the tub, and they'll be ready. Rightio worlds, so here we are, moment of truth. Let's see if this did or did not work. Oh, and that's well, we won't be putting that side on immediately because one of my Roadrunner wheels has come off, so I'll just re-glue that on. I'll probably have to wait a couple of hours before I even attempt to put this on. There we go. That's on. Everything else is solid. Alright, so I'm going to have to leave, because these road wheels have come off, I'm going to have to leave them for a couple of hours to go secure before I even try and fit it on this side. So rightio, I've got a few more things to do. Rightio, well, so I've got a couple more little things to do. Finish off the turret. What are we up to? So, time to put some machine guns on. I have to build the last bit of the machine gun, which is these bits here, and glue all them together. But I think I can I mount this one yet? I think I can. No, not yet. I've got another B65. There it is. Right, I've got another very small part there I want to paint silver. Before I can put it, I've got a very small part there I want to paint silver before I can attach that to the tank, to the model. But I can go ahead and assemble this part of the machine gun and then see if I can get this long strap here apart. It broke. I've glued it back together, but it has broken one part, so I'm really hoping I can get that off and wrap it around the turret. So another camera case is a bit in the dust. So anyway, well, I'm going to get back to you a bit later when I've pretty much got this tank complete. Rightio, well, so I've got a little bit to do to finish this model off, but not far off it now. I may video installing the tracks onto the bottom of the tub and show you how that's done with stretching it over the wheels and so forth. So, but anyway, Walt, I'll catch you a bit later. Bye. Rightio, Walt, we're back, and I didn't film putting the tracks on. It was actually quite easy. I just pulled off one of the back wheels, threaded the tracks over everything, slipped it on, and it all went together really well. So here we are done. Got my decals on, a couple on the side, couple on the back, decal up on the gun, another little ribbon on the side, another one up the front. So there we are. The tank's done and the turret swivels. I haven't finished painting my little man off with his face yet, but anyway, and I managed to get the broken cable all the way around and stuck onto the basket. I had to hand make my antennas just by getting a corner of plastic and twisting it and stretching it over a flame, and that's what makes your antennas. But there we go, that is the tank. It is done, it is built. I can actually say I really thoroughly enjoyed building this model. It was only a $45 model, not a lot of parts to it. There was no internal parts or anything like that, and as I said earlier, if it wasn't for these beautiful tweezers from Tom Graf, nearly 50% of all, I'd say nearly 100% of all the small items that had to go on would never have made it onto this model. These tweezers are literally a model building game changer. So there it is, that's it, it's done. Whoops. So that's the top view, just holding together, nothing to show underneath. Tracks are all on. Now there are some, there were some side guards that come with it that are supposed to go on, but you know, I'm not going to put them on. I like to show the whole suspension and everything. So there we are. I can't even pronounce it. Where's the name of the box? The MERKAVA. The MERKAVA army tank is built, and like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed every part of the build of this model. Nothing upset me building this model. Nothing pissed me off. And as I keep saying, if it wasn't for these Tom Graf tweezers, this model probably would have ended up in the bin with all the small parts that had to go on. Especially up here around on the turret, there was just so many tiny little pieces. The camera won't even pick up how small some of these pieces are. I had to build that whole gun mechanism. Both sides there. Everything went together extremely well. This was a Tamiya built model. So there's the box again. So it's a Tamiya built model. It's the MERKAVA. I can't even pronounce it, but there it is. Israel main battle tank. Anyone getting into models for the very first time and doesn't want to start with a car or something, I highly recommend Tamiya models, and I highly recommend this as a model to build. As long as you got the Tom Graf tweezers, you'll be fine. But anyway, she's done worlds. I actually absolutely love this model. I really did enjoy putting this model together. Wasn't a real lot of painting to do, which I didn't mind, but I put a lot of silver on there, and I know army tanks don't have a lot of silver because that just stands out. But you know what, I really don't care. I absolutely loved building this model and every part of it, even right down to putting the small bits of glass in that were a little bit awkward, but I managed to cut them out of their little glass frames that they had. I even had to cut up my own glass to make fit, because I dropped a piece on the floor and I never saw that again. So anyway, worlds, very happy with the outcome of this model. Very happy building this model. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was far different from any AMT truck model that I've built, well, especially that last bloody Kenworth. This model just shits all over that one. And I'll be looking out for another couple more of these Tamiya models, and I might even put a couple more army tanks together. You know, I've done a small prop plane, but I've never actually done like a fighter jet, which I'd really like to do. And I'd really like to find a really good helicopter model. Most of the ones I see have only got like 15-20 pieces, and there's not really that much to them. I'd like something a little bit more. I'd like something with a little bit more pieces than just 20 or 30 pieces on the helicopter models that I've seen. The King Tiger I did a while back. Wow, now that was a serious tank model that was used. That had so many pieces and so many small pieces. I wish I had had the Tom Graf tweezers on that model, but I got through and I got it all done, and I got all them pieces together. That was a month-long model. That was just so intense. But anyway, one more time, there we are, worlds. The tank is done, and I absolutely love this model, and this one will be staying on the shelf here in the bus because I think it deserves to be up there next to the King Tiger. So, rightio, worlds, stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze, and I will catch you later. Bye.